guys, Fulham here, welcome back to a brand new video now today. As well as the Premier League being confirmed that football's going to be back, so is the Championship now, and I'm really buzzing for it. There's 9 games left in this league as well, and there's so much that could go on. I'm talking promotion, that 6th place is up for grabs for so many teams, and relegation. Don't write that off. It's going to be interesting, isn't it?
It's going to be fascinating. I mean, this is one of the most competitive leagues in the world.
Yeah, and today we're predicting what will happen. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of angry comments, there's going to be people hating, but just remember, guys, what we say probably won't happen. Shall we get straight into it?
No!
Why?
Let's talk about the like target.
Oh, of course. What is it today?
4,800.
Smash that, guys. 4,800. Let's hit that like target. Let's see what the Championship fan base is like.
Yeah.
Up the TDL.
And I'm afraid I'm going for Barnsley, whose recent form has been pretty good. They've won 3 of the last 6, but you know what? They're 7 points behind. I think they might pick up wins against Blackburn and Wigan, but otherwise too far behind.
You know what? There is an argument that they've got nothing to lose and they could just go all out against teams. Other teams will be playing shaky because they've actually got things up for grabs. Having said that, they're still going to end 24th probably. So I as well have Barnsley 24th. There's just a 7-point gap now, and I think it's too much for them. 23rd, who you gone with?
Well, I've gone with Luton Town.
Okay.
Who are actually on form at the moment. They're 5th in the form table, but once again, they're 6 points behind.
Yeah.
And I think it's too much.
They also concede way too many goals. 72 goals they've conceded this season. It's not good enough. I also reckon they're going down. 22nd, who are you going with? The final relegation spot. This is a big call because there's a lot of teams around that.
Well, I'm afraid I have to go for the Tigers.
Oh.
I think they're going to get mauled because their form is terrible. 1 point in the last 6 games.
Do you think Charlton are going to avoid it?
I do. At Hull City, behind the scenes, it's really bad, isn't it, Theo?
But it's also bad at Charlton.
True.
And that's the problem. In 22nd, I've put Charlton.
Wow.
I think Charlton will be the team that goes down. With Lyle Taylor refusing to play, that's their goal scorer saying, I don't want to put on a shirt because I know I'm too good for the club. Like, I think that's a joke. It's a disgrace.
Yeah.
He's got a contract. And although it does finish in like June the 10th or something, you're still playing for Charlton. I think he should play out the season, but he's not going to.
But you know what the first game is going to be, Theo, don't you?
What is it?
Hull City against Charlton.
Wow, that's going to be a decider, isn't it?
One of the most important games in the Championship is the very first game back.
That's crazy.
In 21st place, on the same points as Hull, I'm going for Charlton.
On the same points?
I think they'll get by on goal difference. I think it's going to be really, really close.
I put Hull in 21st, and it's going to go right down to the wire between those two teams, because again, Hull have problems upstairs. They've got problems with their owners. I just think they're going to have a little bit more and enough to stay up. Lads, who do you agree with? Tell us in the comments. One sec, lads. Just going to pause the video for a second to tell you about today's sponsor. Have you ever been on your laptop or your phone and thought, I want to hide my personal data, I don't want to get malwares, infections, and I want a better defense than Luton Town? So the best way to keep your identity, finances, interests, and stuff like that off the internet is simply get NordVPN. It blocks anyone from trying to get in there. And here on the website, as you can see, you can change your IP address to pretty much anywhere across the world. So you keep everything hidden. It's probably the best thing out there for it. And with code Thogden, you get it for dirt cheap. Let me explain how dirt cheap I can make it. If you get a 3-year plan, I'll give you 70% off. And with the code Thogden, you'll get an extra month on top of that for free. Mate, I'm telling you, it's a bargain. And also, lads, if you've ever gone abroad and not been able to watch a stream because you're not in a certain country, you can change your IP address on NordVPN and that sorts it out for you. Same goes for YouTube videos that are blocked in certain countries. Mate, it's quality to have. So lads, if you want to stay protected, slap that link into your website and then the rest is history. Don't forget to use the code Thogden and you'll get a little discount too. Let's get back to the bloody video.
In 20th place, I've gone for Huddersfield Town.
Ooh.
By 1 point. I think they'll just survive.
Okay, for my 20th place, I've gone for Middlesbrough. How Jonathan Woodgate hasn't already been sacked is beyond me, but he is going to keep Borough up. I think they need to reassess in the summer, bring someone new in, and maybe they can do something next year. I don't know. But yeah, Borough are going to be safe by the nick of their teeth.
And I agree, and this moves on to my 19th, which is Borough. And I think they'll be safe by 1 single point. I think it's going to be so close, and 1 game might decide that relegation place.
My 19th place is Wigan Athletic. They're going to stay up. They've had some really good form. Their last 5 games, they've won 3 and drawn twice. I can't say they're going down. Like, there's much worse teams in this league. Their home form will keep them up, like usual.
And that moves on nicely to my 18th, which is Wigan Athletic.
There you go.
Their form recently, like Theo said, has been very good.
Yeah.
They'll pick up enough draws to stay up.
In my 18th place, you've already mentioned them, but I think they'll do a little bit better, but they will survive. Huddersfield Town. They've got a very good striker in Callum Grant. He's got 16 goals and 4 assists, and he links up quite well with Steve Mounier, who's got like 8 goals as well. So I think that forward line will push them away from the relegation battle come the end of the season. I think they'll be okay.
17th, I've gone for Stoke City.
Okay.
And I think they'll be safe by about 3 points. And I think the key games here, game week 39, Middlesbrough, game week 41, Barnsley. I think there's 2 wins there. Stoke will just do enough.
And talking about Stoke, I've also got them in 17th place. Their form of the last 10 games has actually been really, really solid. Some players like Thibaut Verlinden, who played for Bolton, are really good, and I'm sure he's going to help nick a few goals and assists here and there for Stoke, and they'll be safe.
It's funny talking about Stoke, because I can remember when they were challenging for Europe, Theo, in the Premier League.
With Bolton.
Yeah.
Great days. Shall we move on to the mid-table zone, I like to call this?
Absolutely.
From the 16th.
I've gone for Birmingham.
Have you?
I mean, they are 8 points from safety at the moment,
okay,
and I think they'll just stick around in that sort of place.
My 16th place is not yours, it's actually Sheffield Wednesday, and again, it's one of those teams that they're finishing mid-table, no complaints. Decent season, move on to the next one, you know.
And I kind of agree with you, because I've got Sheffield Wednesday in 15th place.
Have you?
And look at the next 3 games. Nottingham Forest, Bristol City and West Brom. There's no points there. But they'll do enough to be mid-table.
Oh yeah, and remember guys, whatever we say is definitely not going to happen. Because the Championship is the most difficult league to predict in the world. And teams at the bottom could be teams at the top. In my 15th, I've gone for Birmingham City, the team you put in 16th, so we basically just rotated them. The reason I've chucked them off one is because they've got some very good players. They've got Jude Bellingham for probably the last 9 games of his Birmingham City career, as he's linked with some big clubs like Borussia Dortmund and United, and he's a special talent, isn't he, Thogden?
Yes.
And they've got a Polish lad with the English name, Luki Djukovic, the lad who played for Bolton.
Good choice. In 14th, I've gone for Reading. Now, they are 8 points from a playoff place, and they're playing Stoke next. So it could be interesting if they put a couple of wins together, but I don't think they will.
Well, funnily enough, I agree with you in 14th. I've also gone for Reading. Area, the Liverpool lads, John Swift, Puskas with 11 goals. They've had some very good players this season. It's a shame they couldn't even go on a late run for playoffs. Who knows, they might be able to. They're in the mid-table mix. It's the Championship, guys.
Now, 13th, I think, is a very interesting one. Queen's Park Rangers. They are 2nd place in the form table at the moment, and they've got 2 very winnable games coming up. And if they win those 2, it could be very interesting.
They're back in the mix.
That's
what it's all about. I've also put them 13th. They've got players like Osei Samuel and Eze, and from watching them live and being to a couple of QPR games this season, they are so good. They're both linked with all the big English clubs, and there's a reason for that. And they both will go to the very top. I think so.
Next 2 games are Barnsley and Charlton, and those 2 wins, and they're right in the mix. 12th place, I've gone for Swansea City. Now, these guys over the last 6 games have drawn 4. So I just can't see them winning enough games. So I think they'll be bang in the middle of that division.
Fair enough. In my 12th place, I've gone for Derby County. Now, you know what? Again, another team that could go for a late run for playoffs. And I definitely would have probably put them nearer to playoffs if they didn't have that whole, you know, drink driving scandal at the start of the season where their main club captain, Richard Keogh, got kicked out, his terminated contract. Waghorn's been classed this season. They've had some decent players, but I think it'll be a mid-table finish for them.
11th place, I've gone for Cardiff. Now, their first game back is a tricky one against Leeds.
No, it's not nice.
Battle of the Hooligans. You don't want to play them. Then they've got a couple of tough games coming up against Preston and Fulham.
Not easy.
So, not an easy run-in. But you know what? Cardiff are a good club. And if they can get a couple of early wins, who knows? Funnily enough, I agree with you. I've also got Cardiff in 11th place, which means they'll drop 2 positions from where they are at the moment. And like you said, it's because of those tough games. They don't really have an out-and-out goal scorer. Their top goal scorer is on 7 goals, which is Lee Tomlin, 7 goals, 7 assists. He's a great player, attacking midfielder. But they don't have an out-and-out poacher who's done it this season consistently. 10th place, I've gone for Blackburn Rovers. I mean, they've got an outside chance of making the playoffs, but I just can't see them getting enough wins. In my 10th place, I've gone for Swansea City. Now, it's kind of a similar reason. I don't really see them getting that playoff position, but I'm not writing anything off. Like I said, we say this, but anything could happen. They're very close. We're now talking about teams that are very close in points in the table. They've got Andre Ayew, who's on 14 goals, loves a goal. They've got Brewster on loan. They've got Joe Rodon, who's on top form, Conor Gallagher. They've got a stacked squad. So do not write Swansea off. And in 9th place, I've gone for Derby County. Now, this is the team who I think will climb the most in the division. I'm calling this the Wayne Rooney effect. But the good form is coming too late. I wouldn't write them off. I mean, Derby for playoffs is still an option. It's not that crazy to say, you know. For my 9th position, I've gone for Blackburn Rovers. So I've said they crept up 1 place. I think they'll get a couple wins here and there. They'll do quite well, but they'll just miss out. And the reason is, I don't think they have the team to. I mean, Bradley Dack hasn't been on great form this season, but
Adam Armstrong, the ex-Bolton lad,
Yes,
the small lad,
yeah.
12 goals, 6 assists this season. Unbelievable.
Now in 8th place, I've gone for Millwall, who've been a real surprise package this season. I think they'll miss out by a couple of points. Now I can see them beating Swansea, Middlesbrough and Huddersfield. I think they'll be a win away from
We'll see what happens.
The playoff places.
We'll see what happens. In my 8th position, this is going to upset a few people. I've gone for Bristol City. 2 hours ago, I had them in that 6th place, but I changed it. And I'll tell you why. I'm not sure Lee Johnson is the man to bring them up.
Right.
I've spoke to Mikey Cobban, the Bristol City fan, and he just doesn't believe in him.
Yeah.
I know they brought in Narky Wells. Will they bring the best out of him? Warburton knew how to, but will Bristol City? They definitely have the team to, though. Eliasson, Weimann and Narky Wells is a great front three. It's playoff pushing for.
Yes.
But I think they're going to just miss out.
Right, in 7th place, I've gone for Preston North End. I think they'll slip out of the top 6.
Okay.
Now, they've lost 4 of the last 6 games.
Yep.
And they've got a really tough end to the season. Of the last 5 games, they've got to play Sheffield Wednesday, Brentford and Bristol City.
They've got a really tough run.
Very, very tough. I think they'll miss out by about 2 points.
And I agree with you. I've also put Preston North End in 7th position. And the reason I've done it is, yes, they started off the season really well. They were like top of the league, I remember at one stage. But yeah, the hard games are at the end, and I think they're going to miss out by a tiny amount. Don't write anything off. What do we know at the end of the day?
Right, now in 6th place, I've gone for one of the richest teams in the land, Bristol City.
Wow, they're going to make it into the playoffs.
Yes, their break has come at the right time.
Wow, okay.
Now, I think they'll pick up wins against Sheffield Wednesday, Hull, Stoke, and finally, on the final day, Preston North End.
Big, that's a massive game.
That is the biggest game.
I'm tuning into that for sure.
Yeah.
In my 6th place, you might have realised I've not said it yet, I've gone for Millwall. I've said Millwall. I think they're going to sneak playoffs this year, and I'll tell you why. They've got 5 home games, and the Den is a horrible place to go to for away teams. And they're away at Charlton, which something tells me they're just going to win that game.
Wow.
Because things at Charlton are a little bit shaky right now. And with Lyle Taylor not playing, I think they'll go there with full hopes, get a win there, probably nick a few home games, and sneak that 6th position. Millwall fans probably love me right now. Yeah. Listen, it could happen. Don't write anything off. And
in 5th place is a team who've had a poor run of form recently. 6 points in 6 games. It is, of course, Nottingham Forest.
Ooh, but they're going to make playoffs.
They are, and again, I think that the break has come at the right time for them.
I agree. Well, I've actually said them in 5th place as well. They're currently 5th in the league, and I think they'll finish there, and I agree with you. Nottingham Forest have a good team. They've got Graben, who's got like 17 goals this season, 2 assists. Bryce Samba deserves a mention, and the baller Matty Cash. What a player he is.
Yeah, and I think the key is they are 5 points clear of Bristol City at the moment, and I think that'll just be enough. In 4th place, I've gone for my favourite team in London, Brentford.
Why are they your favourite team?
I just like Brentford. They're just a nice team.
Fair enough.
And they're going to be comfortably in a playoff place.
Do they play in their new ground or their old ground when they get back?
That's a very good question.
I don't know, because there's 9 games left.
I don't know. I think they'll be comfortably in the top 6.
I mean, some could say for this team the break came at the right time. They've got an absolutely brilliant lineup when they're on form, and maybe they needed that break to get the fitness levels back up. Let's talk about that team.
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins with 22 goals. That's ridiculous. Like Chelsea linked with him and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Said Benrahma, who's also linked with Chelsea, 10 goals, 8 assists, and Mbeumo, the French lad. That is a brilliant front three. Yeah. That could easily get promotion through the playoffs.
And in 3rd place, it just has to be Fulham.
Yep.
And who are we going to look out for there, Theo?
Oh, I wonder who. The big serve up top, Mitrovic. Alexander Mitrovic is basically the reason they're 3rd placed. He's scored so many goals for you. Let me get the facts for you. 23 goals. Cavallero and Knockout have been pretty good, so a little bit. But the main reason they're doing so well is because Mitro is always on fire. They've got a good chance in the playoffs, haven't they?
Yes, but they still have to play Brentford, West Brom and Leeds. So that's
not easy.
There's going to be some really good games.
Some great games. I'm buzzing that Championship football's back. We're down to the top 2. We're either going to have to choose Leeds or West Brom to get the Championship title. They're both going up, but who's winning the goddamn thing?
Do you know what I did, Theo, to work out this?
Who?
I predicted every result for the rest of the season. And you know what I came up with?
What?
Equal points between Leeds and West Brom. So I had to go back and change one of the results. 2nd place will be West Bromwich Albion.
Oh my God, he's called it. He's called it. So Leeds are going up and they're winning the league.
They're going to go into the last game on the same points.
Oh my God.
West Brom will be 2nd and Leeds will win the league.
If you're right, then you're a bloody brain box. But I do agree. I haven't done the sort of stuff he's done, but I do think Leeds, looking at form, Leeds will win the league, I believe too, and West Brom will come 2nd. So don't worry, West Brom, you're getting automatic. Let's firstly speak about West Brom. What a season they've had.
Brilliant.
Slaven Bilic has done a madness. Matías Pereira went into the Premier League, find out how good he is. Charlie Austin banging them in, but the real respect is deserved to Diangana, and at the back, Ajayi. Solid.
West Brom have been fantastic, and they fully deserve to go up, and they will. They will not slip up.
And I think they could do very well in the Premier League next year.
What can you say about Leeds? I mean, they are the form team of the division. They've won 5 of the last 6. They fully deserve to win the league.
Last 5 games, 0 goals conceded.
Yes.
All right, that's so impressive. Players like Ben White, Calvin Phillips. Like, these are just Premier League standard players. And again, they're going to try and have to find a way of looking and keeping Ben White for next year, but I don't think Brighton will let them.
So Leeds fans, do not worry. You're 9 points ahead of 3rd. You will not slip up.
I don't think you will either. But guys, let me know in the comments, who do you think is going to go up? I mean, it's that 6th place that's such an interesting one.
It is.
Let me know in the comments, give us a reason why and who you think will get that 6th place, that cheeky playoff final position, and of course, relegation. Guys, remember, if you want to have a better defence than Luton Town, then get your NordVPN in, lads, okay? The first link in the description. Please like and subscribe. Have a good one. See you all later. Bye, guys.